A bold statement is being made with a series of billboards aimed at troops, questioning the very nature of their service. Is this what you signed up for? The signs ask, sparking a controversial and thought-provoking debate. In Fayetteville, North Carolina, a billboard poses a direct challenge. Did you go to Airborne just to pull security for ICE? This is part of a campaign led by veterans organizations, About Face, Veterans Against the War, and Win Without War, who are reaching out to troops with a unique mission. They want to ensure that soldiers are aware of their rights and the potential legality of orders, especially as the Trump administration increasingly involves the military in domestic duties, including immigration and law enforcement. The billboards direct troops to a website, Not What You Signed Up For, offering encrypted communication platforms and resources. Here, service members can connect with experts and access the GI Rights Hotline and the National Lawyers Guild's Military Law Task Force. Harrison Mann, Associate Director for Policy and Campaigns at Win Without War, explains, "We want to ensure those troops know their rights and understand their options." Mann, a former Army major, resigned from the Defense Intelligence Agency in 2024 over the Biden administration's use of military hardware to support Israel's war with Hamas. The groups have sponsored 3 billboards so far. One at Fort Bragg sits between 2 main streets leading to the base, where a significant number of troops pass daily. Another at Camp Lejeune is positioned just off a bridge leading to the main gate. A third mobile billboard on a truck drives around Washington, D.C., where National Guard members have been deployed since August. The Trump administration's widespread deployment of troops in law enforcement roles has sparked opposition. Unlike typical disaster relief deployments, these actions have been widely rejected by local leaders and residents. For instance, 700 Marines and 4,000 National Guardsmen were sent to Los Angeles in June, and over 2,000 National Guard troops from 7 states are currently in Washington, D.C. Additionally, nearly 1,700 National Guard troops from 19 states have been authorized to support ICE, performing administrative and logistics tasks, including collecting biometric data and tracking fleet expenses. This billboard campaign comes at a time when progressive veteran groups and military legal experts are concerned about troops facing orders that may go against their conscience or be deemed unlawful in future courts-martial. James M. Branham, one of the lawyers troops can connect with, says, "Many younger troops are telling me this is not what they signed up for." He adds that more senior troops are biding their time and want to keep their heads down. Brittany Ramos de Barros, organizing director for About Face, Veterans Against the War, shares her personal experience. "I was swayed by the military culture, making me feel isolated for disagreeing, but you're not alone. There are people who will support you," she assures. De Barros, who joined the Army on a scholarship and deployed to Afghanistan in 2012, became disillusioned with the gap between the military's stated mission and reality. She was threatened with a court-martial for speaking out as a captain in the reserves. The National Guard's deployment in U.S. cities for policing operations and immigration issues reflects the military's purpose: to carry out violence efficiently. Sending Marines to L.A. for peacekeeping is antithetical to their training, de Barros asserts. Mann, with his 13-year Army career, says he never questioned the lawfulness of orders. But with the political nature of domestic deployments, he wants to ensure troops are informed. "I don't want soldiers to first consider unlawful orders when shouted at them in Baltimore or Memphis. People need to start thinking about this now," he emphasizes. The Manual for Courts-Martial states that a service member can defend against obeying an unlawful order if they knew or should have known it was unlawful. However, Branham cautions, they choose to violate it at their own peril. Earlier this month, a federal court in California ruled that the deployment of troops to L.A. was illegal, violating the Posse Comitatus Act, which prohibits the use of federal troops for domestic law enforcement. Pentagon Press Secretary Kingsley Wilson criticized Win Without War, stating, "It's not a veterans group. It uses Democratic money for poorly designed graphics." But is it legal to use billboards to encourage troops to question orders? A 2014 Supreme Court case involving a protester outside a military base ruled against the protester. Dennis Apel, who protested at Vandenberg Air Force Base for 17 years, was convicted of violating a bar order and sentenced to prison. The Supreme Court's ruling determined that the base commander's control extended beyond the fences, even in a designated protest zone. This raises the question, where does free speech end and military jurisdiction begin? The debate continues, and we invite you to share your thoughts in the comments.